Aloha everyone, Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com. Thank you so much. There is a guy that I have to thank, and his name is Martin Armstrong, and he's with Armstrong Economics blog. And there's over almost 200,000 views on the video that I did on the arborist with 48-year arborist shows how Maui fires was not a wildfire. And I'm going to be interviewing one of his friends who is a fire captain of 30 years this week around understanding how these fires are starting, how to see that it's not a natural wildfire. So I wanted to do a quick video because I've gotten over 3,000 comments and there's some questions in there, and I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who's liked the video. Please like and share this video, share that one actually really, and also share the one on are you questioning Maui fires? If not, here's why. I think that's something I named it, titled it that. That one goes through so much information on what's happening in Maui, in Hawaii. The governor suspended 7 housing laws 3 weeks before the fire. 3 weeks he suspended 7 housing laws, and they are allowing the public to come in and give their testimony, allowing collaborative bargaining, and I can't remember the other ones, but if you go to StandTogetherHawaii.com and you scroll down, you'll be able to see I have links that show you what the laws are suspended, that the governor suspended. The Maui mayor, he raised the emergency funding for natural disasters or health crises from 3 million to 40 million. He raised it in April. So a lot of things that we should be questioning. I mean, not to mention the day of the fire, no water was being allowed in. There no fire trucks. The fire guys, I got somebody who was like, well, weren't the firemen there? No, they left. They left because they said it was too hot and they couldn't put it out. Numerous testimonies of police barricading people from leaving. That's murder. That is absolute murder. I'm asking you to find those videos. I think I have some. I'll put them on Stand Together Hawaii if I can find them again. So I wanted to share answer some questions that people have. So the first question I have is, because I did hire an assistant that was trying to go through all these comments and questions. So could you please give proper credit? Okay, Robert, who is the arborist, he doesn't want his whole name out there, and he even told me that he's probably not going to do any more interviews. So he's just a very private person, and so that's I want to say so much appreciation to him, but he doesn't want a lot of publicity. But now it's like 200,000 people are going to be asking questions about him. So but I am going to be interviewing a fire captain next week. Is it possible that the pictures were taken long enough after the fire event that the trees could be grown again? No. Trees don't regrow for years. They take years to regrow. But what you're seeing, the reason, and then somebody else asks, how can this fire melt glass, which is a whole nother degree, I mean higher, way higher than a regular wildfire? How does it melt aluminum? How does it melt the engine block in the car? How come all of the door handles are melted off, but it won't it doesn't touch the trees? I had the same question, and I asked the arborist, Robert, about why. I said, if it's a fire and it's hot, it's burning, how does it not touch the trees? And the answer he gave me was because the chemistry of the fire is different than a wildfire. A wildfire will burn the tree from the outside in, leaving black char, leaving sticks, black sticks. That is a wildfire. When you have a microwave energy fire, what it does is it doesn't touch the organic material of the tree. It doesn't recognize it. The actual chemistry of the fire doesn't recognize the chemistry of the organic material of a tree, but it does recognize the water inside the tree. That's why the trees are burning from the inside out. Because in a microwave, you can put water in it and you can heat it up and it boils and it cooks the water. Same thing that's happening. It's cooking the tree from the inside because it's cooking the water. This is why the tree dies. In a regular wildfire, it'll burn the tree from the outside in. It leaves you a black stick, and then the tree will grow. It'll actually grow back because the roots aren't burned. They don't die. In this fire, it cooks it from the inside out, so it cooks the roots. So the tree's not going to grow back. So that's what the answer that he gave me, and I was like, I finally understood. I was like, oh, because I was like, it's a fire. How come it's just not burning everything? And it's because it's actually the chemistry of the fire doesn't recognize the chemistry of the organics. It's quite amazing. If you go to standtogetherhawaii.com, you will see that this technology has been around, I think, since the 40s. And there's actually a Direct Energy Weapons Act on a Stand Together Hawaii / Maui fires. You can look it up. Congress actually passed an act that actually talks about it. I don't want to use those words too much. Also, you'll see on that page weather modification and a company that literally states when people look up in the sky, they see clouds. When we see potential, because they can change the weather, and they've had this technology for a very, very long time. So let me go to the next question. Why are the blue? And it has to do with the frequency, the frequency of the energy of the fire. And I'll leave the TikTok video that shows this in the description of this video. Let's see here. Yeah, somebody else was asking about Robert's channel. Does he have a channel? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a channel. He doesn't want a channel. That might have been the last interview. Then somebody else was asking about the Gatlinburg fire in Tennessee. I just quickly looked at a picture, a website about it from Fox News. And yeah, it does look the same. It does look the same because the houses are white ash. Really interesting. There's no refrigerator, that's there. There's no toilet. There's no stove, and it's all ash. But the trees are still standing. The trees are still around. So, there was one picture that I saw of a fire on the mountain, and the trees do look like they're on fire. So I'm not sure fully about that, but the residential area that I saw looked exactly like Maui, Paradise. Remember, I'm from California, and I went to Paradise after the fires for that Christmas. I was visiting family in the area, and I was shocked. When does a white picket fence not burn, but the whole house is gone? This is something that we really need to really take a look at and say no to. What's happening here in the Hawaii Islands, what they want to do with the Maui people, which I want to show you guys a video of a woman. Oh, she's amazing. She's a Hawaiian. Let me just go there. I'm gonna do that.
What about the families that have been destroyed by this fire? And for the record, I will say this: it was not a natural disaster. This emergency proclamation is a fall, and let me tell you why. Because all of the hearings you hear, all of the testimony you hear, all of the social media you hear, it connects the dots to what's happening in Lahaina. Lahaina was our first United Kingdom capital. Funny how all the common people were taken out in one fell swoop of a fire. Fire department, police department on Maui did nothing to get those people out. In fact, they blocked roads. And I can say that with a fact because the people in Lahaina testified to that. The sad thing that I have right now in my hand is this court document. You should not be having this meeting because it was filed. You should not be talking about Lahaina here as it was stated before. Where's the mayor of Maui? Even though this is a housing issue, that's the island he represents. I'm shaking right now. Because I look at this, and if some of you are here really fighting for the people, mahalo. Speak up. Don't be afraid of the rest of the people here. Speak up. Mahalo, Tita. That's our people. And if this is just a money issue for you guys, get out of your seat. Please. Nani, you speak about talking to the people. Hold a meeting in Lahaina Civic Center or wherever they have room for, and hear the people, hear their stories, hear their heartbreak, hear their demise. You can turn that off because I'm not going to end until I end, and I'm not being disrespectful. You cannot limit the people's voice to 3 minutes. This is devastation. From the day that fire went on here in Honolulu and all the other islands, the people are the ones who got the donations to them. The water, the food, the clothing. Guess what? Coast Guard, FEMA, trying to stop us from going in. While the people inside Lahaina is suffering. Yes, we found other ways to get them there. And I could go on and on with the people who showing themselves on social media. The celebrities, the president. Come on. He couldn't even pronounce names correctly. Why was he here? A photo op? Or truly for the people? You folks here should be asking the people what they need. Not the representatives sitting in state legislature. The people. Unfortunately, and I'm going to read this real quick, and this goes to the Housing Authority. Local authority housing or council housing is housing you can live in that is owned by the local authority. No, it should be owned by the people. You have to apply for local authority housing. Your council will assess your needs and decide if you are high priority. Every person in Maui is a high priority right now. There is tons of land in Maui. Why move them to the Big Island? Now you stress Big Island people. Now you take away from Big Island people. There are Maui people who came to Honolulu. I have a friend in here right now, Jessica, who housed Maui people. But yet we got no help. We got no help from the government. But that's how we do in Hawaii. We help. Mm-hmm. We take care. Correct. As Al said, malama. Please don't make this a job, which all of you obviously have, besides those that are really trying to fight for the people. Make this your mission to get these people back on their feet. There's been lots of so-called celebrities saying that they're giving $100 million, all these millions of dollars. Where's the money? The money should not be going into Hawaii Community Foundation or any other foundation. That money should be going directly to the people. Do you know that with that $100 million, you can bring in lumber? And all the people who lost their homes, I guarantee you, majority of the men were construction workers. They can go in. Hawaiian Homestead, I'm on the list. I'm on the top of the list. Hawaiian Homestead, they do a self-help building, which lessens their mortgage. Why not do that? Pull these guys in. Bring their morale back up because they just lost everything. They can help their community build. See, you guys think inside the box. We're thinking outside the box. It's not about money. It's not about money laundering. It's not about taking money from one program to the other so that you guys can collect the money. Take the money out of the limelight and put the people. The sad thing is, and I'm going to say this even though this might not directly deal with you folks, the officials on Maui have not yet thought about the people. They are thinking about backtracking, backpedaling, name gaming. They're blaming each other. So people are getting fired. People are resigning because the top of the line, the top of the chain, refuse to take responsibility. This is not about, oh, we're going to make a memorial. I wish he was here because I would tell him to his face. Lahaina is not about making a memorial. I saw on so much social media that the banyan tree was more important than the people. It's a tree. Yes, it is something that's been there for decades. But guess what? In a couple more decades, another tree will be there for a couple decades.
So that was a public meeting with no elected officials. The governor left as soon as the testimonies started from the people. He walked out because, one, he's a coward, and two, because he knows the agenda. Last month, the month prior, he was at the United Nations saying how Maui was going to be the first smart city. The Maui financial chief officer is on a board to discuss how AI, artificial intelligence, can help govern the island of Maui for workforce productivity. That's what it actually says on his site, and I'll leave the link. I think it's on standtogetherhawaii.com. But also the mayor or the governor saying how his first thing out of his mouth after the fires was not, we're taking care of the people, everybody's housed, we have food and water, given to them, and everybody's being taken care of right now. His first words, I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land for workforce housing. Then the financial, like I said just a second ago, the Maui financial officer who's on the board with the AI says this is going to help with workforce productivity. Workforce. What are they planning on enslaving all the Hawaii Islands, starting with Maui first? So here's an action plan. We want to contact our representatives. Standtogetherhawaii.com. Click on Maui Fires. If you don't live here, you can still contact these representatives. Just put in there, tell that Governor Green must step down. He needs to resign. He needs to be booted off of these islands, as well as the Maui mayor, who's not answering any questions about the children. There's 2,000 children missing. Where are they? And where are their parents screaming bloody murder about their children? Where the heck are my children? Where are these people? They say 115 people are dead, but yet we have thousands of people that are missing, including children. And nobody's saying a word about it. Because why? They're waiting for this to blow off. America, do not let Maui blow off, because time passes and we all have our lives to live and we're all just trying to, do the best we can. Make a stand. Make a stand, America, for these Hawaii Islands. Because it's going to take all of us. If it can happen here, it can happen in your neighborhood. It can happen with your children. All of these Hawaiian children are everybody's children. So make a stand. Go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on Maui Fires. It'll give you a one email to the state representatives, one email to the state senators, and say, Green must come down. He must be booted off the islands. And we want an investigation into this fire. We want to know where the children are. So much mahalo to you, and sending all Lahaina people and Maui people inner strength. We are with you. We stand with you. Standtogetherhawaii.com, you guys. Much love.